Hello! Hello, everybody. I'm trying a different setup. So, I hope you can see okay. Hello, can you hear me now? Okay, alright, just a little delay. I'm trying a different setup. So, I hope y'all can hear and see everything. Okay, welcome, everybody. Welcome in. We're not quite ready for that yet. Let me go over here. Okay, y'all been chatty. I had a little bit of energy and I didn't want to start too early. So I tried to do some makeup, but then um I was hearing this like buzzing, ringing sound, and I thought my ears were ringing, but it's not what was going on. So I turned off my light, my overhead light, and the buzzing, ringing sound stopped. And then I turned it back on, and it didn't come on. So all we're left is the light of my ring light, and I feel as though the ring light on its own isn't very powerful. So that's what's going on there. That's yellow. Oh no. So okay, let me stop messing around with the light because I will be here forever. So hey Burns, welcome in Burns, y'all. If you missed it, on Sunday I was on Vern's channel. We had a live stream. I talked about the books. I talked about my channel. I talked about a whole bunch of stuff. So make sure you go check that out if you haven't checked it out yet. And of course, Sharon is here and it's snowing in Minneapolis. It's not snowing here. Um and Sharon, yes, empower women is today's episode. Yes. What Laurie says, so much hidden ice, a truck just spun. Come on, stop being a baby. A truck just spun around a few times in a parking lot. So, oh my god, that must have been so scary, Laurie. Oh my god, so scary. Ooh, boots. Now I do enjoy a good boot. The thing about the Coast Guard, the uniform wasn't very warm, I think, which made me hate winter. But like when I lived in New York and I could wear like whatever I wanted for winter, I still didn't like it, but it wasn't so oppressive. Okay, let's see. Da, da, da. Let's scroll down. Everybody can hear me. What? This laptop has just been acting out. Hi, Jaden. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. And as Sharon said, what an episode. So, y'all, I don't know if y'all can even like notice my makeup, but I have on elf concealer, um the elf cream blush, but then it was looking like too much, although now I look on screen and I don't see anything. And I put on Jackie Aina, oh god, what's the shade name? Just one shade over the eyebrows, over the eyelids. Big wig, I put it on over the eyelids. And I meant to wear Dream Chaser, but then I didn't have it. I have Girl Boss, and I don't know where I put Dream Chaser. So that's what ended up, and I put powder, and that's how comes. Yeah. Oh, Sharon, you want to know if they didn't have winter uniforms? No, no, no. It's the same uniform throughout the season. Like we have like outerwear, but no, no. That's another topic for another day. But thank you so much, Chasing Dream Chaser band name. I forgot. I should have taken a straw. Thank you so much to everybody for coming. I hope y'all got a chance to watch the episode. I did. I've been. It. Yeah. This is me in my fullest form. um. Tilt that forward just a little bit. So, anyways, let's pull that down just a little bit. Okay, this is better. This is better. Okay. I'll probably turn off this screen really soon, but yes. Hope everybody is having a good day. Um let's get into this, y'all. Let's get into this. Um so welcome one and all to our 4400 show where we do a live recap of the latest episode. Yo! Oh my god. Y'all, do you see your screen? Y'all, OMG, y'all. Do y'all even see what's going on? Woo! So let me get my words to tell y'all that the 4400 writers responded to my tweet. Y'all, they responded to my tweet because I've been having a lot of thoughts about the hair on 4400, and like this episode just picked up the hair and the makeup, and they responded to my tweet, and then I responded to their response, and they retweeted me. That's it, y'all. I have arrived. Ooh. Okay, let me turn off my camera right there. Okay, so that was a bit of excitement for today. Um, so let's get into and y'all, just so y'all know, StreamYards now has integration for like slides like PowerPoint or Google Slides. So today I had the energy, I made the slides. So hopefully we should be having less technical difficulties going forward. But I also want y'all to know that this live, it like takes me all day to get ready for it. So I'm really glad for those of y'all that show up. And I am especially happy for the people who watch the replay, because sometimes when we're done with this live, it has like 8 views, 9 views. Sometimes it's just me, Sharon, and Lori. But oh, here comes the burps. But then a week later, it has 50 views. So for all of you who watch the replay, thank you, and thank you. I try to go in the same day or the following day to put in the timestamps so y'all can navigate the replay really easily. So, anyways, I just wanted to make sure I said that. I know, Laurie, and you don't even watch the show, but you know what? My recaps are so good. You know everything that's going on. Okay, so um 4400 is a new show. Well, we are on episode 7. Okay, I now think that the burp counter is ridiculously jumping. I felt like the last live it wasn't so high. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to go in and reset it. Okay, stop getting sidetracked mode. Do not get sidetracked. Um into it, but we were there from the beginning. Um, okay. So, um, what was I saying? Yes. 4400 is a reboot of a show from 2003. The original show was called the 4400. It was on USA, and the new show is called 4400, and it is on CW, and it's recast to be black. I can imagine, Sharon, like this week, like while I was getting ready for the live, like one of the things I found is there's so many characters that to develop all those characters must be like a lot of work. Okay, so um here we go. What are we talking about next? Y'all, I know I keep this slide in there to remind y'all that the characters don't match one for one. But also like the number of main characters is so much more, like the cast is a lot bigger. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that this week. I don't know why I'm shouting. Okay, so here we go with the cast now. We have Shanice. Oh, y'all, at this point in time, it's episode 7, so we're just going to just go through the cast real quick. We have Shanice, we have Dr. Andre, we have LaDonna, Claudette, Hayden and Mildred. Hayden and Mildred weren't even really in this episode so much. Reverend Isaiah, Logan. Logan is Shanice's husband. I didn't even talk about the main premise of the show. Noah, we haven't seen Noah for many episodes. And then that's the people who went missing and they've now been returned. And now on the other side, we have Keisha. She's a parole officer. Why is my nose running? Keisha's girlfriend Jessica works for DHS. Jarrell is a social worker. Soraya is the IT person. Mr. Green is the big bad guy. Okay, so before we get to the recap, I'm just going to shout out my members. Of course, I'm going to shout out my members before we get into it. Members, big up yourself in the chat. Drop your members only emoji. Shout out my members, y'all. Yo, that was my members. If you would like to become a member, feel free to hit that join button. Memberships start at $2.99 and you get to use those cool emojis. So feel free to hit that join button, all right? And if someone joins the membership while we're live, I have a special membership song that plays. Okay, so now I want to remind you of the trailer for this week's show.
You're scaring me.
You believe I possess a power. Your kind might not even be human.
We have to figure out what we are. This is a trap. Maybe it's time to fight. Fire with fire.
Okay, y'all. So that was the trailer for the show. Now we can really start to get into it, all right? Um, I'm just realizing, y'all, that I don't need all this light since the camera is off. Okay, let's get into this show right now. All right. It opens with the settings shot. So y'all can remember, in case you forgot, that we are in Detroit. We're in Detroit, y'all. And I don't know, did I noticed that some of my favorite shows right now are set in Detroit. This show, The Big Leap, sorry about that, y'all. It's just getting this show, The Big Leap, um, and also Bob Hart's Abishola is also set in Detroit. Like I'd forgotten, Bob Hart's Abishola is also set in Detroit. Um, yes, Sharon, the trailers are so vague, and yes, this episode is very intense. Very. Okay, so here we go. Alright, we start with Claudette. This episode is going to be all about Claudette. Claudette is in her new apartment, which is Jarrell, the social worker's brother Manny, who is missing's old apartment. And she is giving it the feminine touch with flowers. And Jarrell has shown up. And he's just like, oh well, I kind of was just like automatically driving here, so I came to check on you. And we were like, at this point in the episode, I was like, is this going to be an episode full of the sexy times? Okay, yeah. Oh, sorry, y'all. So yes, Sharon and Jarell also like was impressed with what she's done with the apartment. I tried to go in my screenshots from previous episodes and I couldn't really see like any good pictures of of the apartment. But he was all being like low key flirty with her and I was like, ooh, what's coming next? And then she showed him her dark room, and he was all like smiley to be going in her dark room. And I was like, is it a closet that she turned into the dark room? Like, I would really like to know. So then, meanwhile, back at the hotel. So for those of you who may not have seen the show before, the people who returned, they're living in a hotel. And I have a question. Is did they disable the locks on the doors, or are the people leaving their doors open by choice? Hmm. So um so Shanice comes into Dr. Dre's room, mad, ready to start a fight and yell at him because remember in last week's episode, um, um, Shanice's daughter was the getaway driver when they were going to free Mildred from the hospital. So she's coming to yell at him and she notices he's sick. Sharon, I agree with you. It has to be that they disabled the locks. Um, so she's noticed he's sick, and right when she notices he's sick, LaDonna comes into the room trying to figure out how to read the files they stole from Ipsy Med. But Shanice like sends LaDonna away and sends Dr. Dre to bed so she can go get some like um soup or something for him. And look, y'all. another establishing shot to remind us that this happens in Detroit. I feel like they went and got a lot of B-roll for this episode. So, Shanice and LaDonna went to the restaurant bar place with Keisha, and um Keisha wants them to sign. Keisha wants them to sign this contract to stay in the hotel. So what they've done is like 4,400 from different facilities who don't want to like go back to where they came from or get their own place or whatever. They have to sign a contract to stay in the hotel. So y'all know Shanice was a lawyer. Well, she still is a lawyer. So she's going through the contract, and it's a long contract, and they're like trying to figure out what's going on with that. Sorry, y'all. I thought I took more pictures, but this is the only picture I took in that scene. Okay, so back at the hotel, they're checking people in, right? They're giving them different things and like pamphlets and stuff of the Detroit area. And Keisha and Jarrell are there checking them in, and they're like, why are they rushing the people over there? And at that station, they're basically just making the people sign the contract and move on. And I want you to pay attention to the lady with the ponytail right there, because we'll see her again later in the episode. And Keisha and Jarrell actually had a moment of bonding where Keisha is suspicious of the government making the people sign the contracts. Oh, and the contract, the way they're like framing the contract is that the people who stay in the hotel will get free food, free transportation, and a stipend for clothes or whatever. Meanwhile, what's her name? Claudette had previously said that she doesn't want to just leave off the government stipend. So, um, Jarrell got her an interview with this guy who owns the restaurant bar, whatever, um, as a barback, and this other guy is the is the bartender, and like I just really want to know where they go to cast their like white bad guy, because immediately this guy already has an attitude towards Keisha, and you think it was 40 because she's a 4,400, but later in the episode we find out he didn't know she was a 4,400 yet. So it might just be because she's a woman or because it's black. That's how we roll through the world. Like, you don't know why people are treating you that way while they're being condescending, but that's how it goes. Bar manager bigot Barney. Yeah, the bar owner seems really cool. Bar manager bigot. Oh my god. Yo, okay. I just have to say that using the slides like this instead of sharing screen and what I was doing before is game changing, isn't it, y'all? Okay, so um Claudette is at work, and the guy is giving her nasty looks, right? There's a nice little montage of her like sweeping up, slicing lemons and what have you. Um and these ladies come to the bar. Come on, Tommy, calm down. These ladies come to the bar, right? And the bartender doesn't pay any attention to them. They were about to leave, and the bartender is over there with some dude bros like having drinks with them and stuff. So Claudette pours them a gin. Like I like the line when they're like, "Can we get gin and tonics?" And she was like, "Have you had a gin and sin?" And I was like, "What is a gin and sin? What is in it? I don't even like gin, but I want a gin and sin." And you're right, Sharon. These ladies look like a lot of fun. Okay. So this leads us to a flashback where Claudette is making drinks for the organization that her husband leads, the civil rights organization. And she's there with like the ladies and they're having a chat and they really want to do more. And I forgot to like add the picture from somewhere of her like next to a red like oldie car. We'll have to save it for next week. So the costumes and the hair, yo, this episode the hair and makeup was on point. The costumes too, those period costumes, like these people know, the people who did this know their mummies and their grannies and whoever would would not be happy if they didn't do them justice. And here we have, oops, yes, Lori, that 50s early 60s look classic. That's like the beginning of the Mad Men. And I remember Tom and Lorenzo, who I followed, always complained that Mad Men didn't have enough black people. Okay, Verns, have a good day, Verns. Um, didn't have enough black people because Mad Men continued the myth that like black people didn't really exist in like the corporate world and stuff when they did, and they didn't, and the few black characters that they had, they didn't show, like they didn't have depth. And anyway, I digress. Not, we're not talking about Mad Men. So she's talking about seeing her pictures, the pictures she took in a bombing where children had been killed. And there's one lady in particular that wants to do more than what they've been doing. Back at the hotel, Dr. Dre is going to look for ice. And he asks the guard, Tim, to help him. And Tim is like, "Aren't you a doctor? Heal yourself." And he stumbled a bit. And when he touched Tim's arm to like stop himself from falling over, the arm just broke. It just broke, like it broke in the same way the guard at the hospital's arm was broken. And remember, Andre is the same guard who took Hayden's chess set. So now we see that Andre's power is like, if someone is injured, he takes the injury and holds on to it. And while he's holding on to the injury, he feels really sick, but he can transfer the injury, the pain, whatever, to someone else. So we see Shanice going through the contract, and then we see her going to talk to Dr. Dre, and he tells her about the power. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. We had a small technical difficulty. Okay, I'm not sure if y'all can still hear me. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, great. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I don't I I think it was the internet. I'm not sure what happened. Okay. So thanks, Laurie. Okay, so um we see LaDonna's mother try to call her, and LaDonna asks Soraya to help her. Give me a little while. Okay, let me just do this real quick. Okay. All right. My screens are just freezing up a little bit, but I'm back. Okay, let's go back to our slide. All right, so LaDonna um asks Soraya for some help, and Soraya's like, I don't know, I don't want to be in trouble again, and eventually she tells Soraya she wants to build her own computer, so Soraya agrees to get her the parts to build her own computer. She also no, that's not where she did that happen. Let's continue. So yeah, so there they are being accomplices again. And even your LaDonna's hair started to look better. Like, I still don't know if that's LaDonna's hair or if that's a wig. Like, it has to be a wig, but if it's a wig, it's been done really well. Oh, guess what it is? Another establishing shot. In case you forgot, we're in Detroit. So, back at the bar, all the guards from the hotel are back in the bar, and then this one guy, the mean one from the beginning, he recognizes LaDonna, and so like you can see her being like pissed off and afraid at the same time. And then the guy is like, "Oh, you're a 4400." So he just found another reason to be mean to her because he wasn't mean enough already. I don't know. And she was starting to feel really bad when my fave Mrs. Grover comes in. Look at Mrs. Grover's shirt or dress or whatever it is, y'all. Mrs. Grover comes through with the flowers and the balloons, and she was like really oh god, come on, Tommy, calm down. She was like really crying, and she's like, I don't know why I thought it would be different. And Mrs. Grover gives and then we have a flashback to her in her dark room, and to her husband just being a big old meanie because like she's like, what's going to happen to black people? Like they're bombing us. We need to do more. And he's like, you need to learn your place, woman. Such a meaning. Back at the hotel in present time, LaDonna and Soraya are bonding. Um, LaDonna tells Soraya like she doesn't want to go back to her mother. It would be nice if she could go to stay with her father. Um, Jimmy is not a nice man. Understatement. And she's building the computer. More things happened, but I don't remember, y'all. So much happened in this episode, y'all. Like the episode just goes boom, 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 boom. And in a surprising move, I remember this lady's name, Jaeyoon. So Jarrell comes up to her and is like, what's going on?" And she said she wanted a printout of the contract for her records, but they wouldn't give it to her. And um Reverend Isaiah comes through looking really, really slimy, and as if he doesn't even want her talking to Jarrell. And he's like, "I told you if you had a problem, come to me." Yes. Sharon is just straight up calling them Rev Johnson cult. Um, and then let's see. Like, look at him. Like, he's up to something with this. Like, all of a sudden, like, I hate when shows do this and you don't see like the character development. Like, he was getting likable the last few episodes, and now he's gone to just like straight slimy. I really do not like when this happens in shows. It's like he seemed to have grown as a character the last few episodes, and now he's back to his old ways. So back in the bar, Mrs. Grover with that fly dress or shirt brought newspaper clippings for Claudette, and it's the friend that we saw in the flashback who was really wanting to do more like violent protests, and it's a obituary, and it said she became one of the leaders of the Black Panthers. And oh, is this the sweater you're talking about, Sharon? Um, so what was I saying? Yes, there's Jimmy. Just Jimmy's just jealous of Claudette. That's all there is to it. Jimmy is jealous of Claudette. So we see them in a meeting outside of Jimmy and Claudette's house, and y'all notice what Claudette is wearing. Does this outfit look familiar to y'all? Because that's the outfit she was returning. And they're having a meeting, and the husband is talking about doing some sittings, and Claudette tries to say they should do blow up the Black Panther David Duke's house when it's empty, of course, but blow it up. And some of the people actually want to listen to Claudette, and her husband doesn't want to hear her talk. And then did I bring it? In this scene right here, he put his hands lovingly around her waist, but while his hand is around her waist, he like hurts her. So it looks to everybody onlooking that he's doing something very loving, but he's actually hurting her to silence her. And y'all, if we ever find Jimmy in a dark alley, that's all I'm saying on that topic. So again, we have a establishing shot to let us know we're in Detroit. And back in the alleyway behind the bar, um, they look, y'all. Twitter is going mad over Claudette right now. Mad, mad, mad over how pretty she is. Like, she is the absolute gorgeousness, and she does not take shit from anyone. Like, Twitter is exploding over Claudette. And like with the hair she's doing, she just looks like a pinup girl. Um, so back in the alley, Dr. Dre and Shanice have come to Claudette for help, and Dr. Dre Dr. Dre tells Claudette about his power, and he tries to cut Shanice, but he's a doctor, he's not gonna be able to cut her. So Claudette, being the bad bitch that she is, the cuts Shanice's arm. So Dr. Dre puts his hand over the cut, and immediately he starts to feel sick. The cut heals. He touches Claudette's hand. The cut is now on Claudette's hand. Like that, like, I don't even understand. Like that power, it must suck to have that power, but it could come in useful later. Like, you know what? You know what? You have a. Oh my god, the battery's about to. That doesn't need to be on. Oh, but I can't see. Oh my god. I really need to solve this problem. Be right back, y'all. Be right back. Oh, why isn't that? What's going on? Sorry, y'all, I'm just trying to get the laptop. I plugged it in, and now it's telling me it's 5%, but it won't take any charge. It's plugged in. Are you kidding me? Why? Okay, it's working now. One of these days, I will be blessed with good equipment. But for now, we journey on. Yes, Sharon, I was saying, there's this show. Oh my God, Cloak and Dagger. Did y'all ever watch that show, Cloak and Dagger, where their powers are bound to, like, bound them together? It's kind of like that. I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice. Okay. What's doing next slide? So after that happens, they're like, "Thank you, Claudette." Claudette's like, "No, I really wanted to talk to y'all because can y'all come for a drink?" Oh yes, also like Charmed. I didn't even think of Charmed. Okay. Um, and I just want to take a moment right here to point out that this whole show was stuck in dark mode. Like, I know all of the things were happening inside and it was dark. I don't know if it's my eyes, but like a lot of the show was just so darkly lit, and I know it's like the CW aesthetic, but oh, but despite all of that, look how good Shanice's hair and makeup looks right there. Like, look at the definition. I don't know if it's a twist out, if it's a braid out, if it's a wash and go. It kind of looks like a wash and go, but I don't know. But her hair looks so good, and I need them to drop the products. Okay, I'm now gone off of that tangent and that rant. Um, so again, another establishing shot, and this time, Keisha and Jessica have gone to dinner, and again, y'all, look at Keisha. Look at Keisha's hair and makeup, and her little like earrings and everything. Like, what? Did they get a new makeup person? Did they just get some money to buy some nice makeup? I want to know because I feel like from last week to this week, the hair and makeup stepped up. It stepped up, you know? Um, so anyway, Keisha goes to dinner with the girlfriend and tries to pump her for information. And the girlfriend says that they're not sure if the 4400 are different, because the blood, if the 4400 are human, because their blood work is different. Um, and Keisha's like, so when are you going to tell me? And she's like, so it's classified. Look, when Miguel said everything was fine, he had a sly smile on his face that we did not trust because they were taking a lot of blood. And I'm like, how much experience experiments? How did they find out the difference in the blood? Because like blood work is so expensive, and I know it's like things in movies. Toya, hey, Toya is here! Yay! From that, so the girlfriend gets mad and what the crap? Is this just doing things on its own now? I literally didn't touch anything. The girlfriend gets mad and she ups and leaves and breaks up with Keisha because Keisha doesn't. They literally just made her walk out of the frame. Keisha does not. Keisha doesn't agree for that. The 4400 are not human and a threat, whatever. Sharon, the small table. Maybe they just have small tables now so that people can be further apart because of COVID. Like it would be weird for a restaurant to only have tables that sit two. I don't know. So now Kisha is broken up with Jessica the narc. We do not want to hurt with Jessica anyway because Jessica is stuck up B word. Moving on. Meanwhile, back at the bar, everybody comes in. All the 4400. Keisha, Soraya, they all come in, and the bigot guy is like, are y'all all are they all like you 4400? And someone goes, I want a Moscow mule, and someone's, can I get this, can I get that? And he's not happy. And Claudette, being the bad bitch that she is, here's like, here, have some water. Oh, you don't want it, it's dirty 4400 water. And he's like, I'm going on a break. Peak, he was like, peak 7-year-old girl, I'm going on a break. And he walks out and he starts yelling and such, and he's like, I can refuse service to whoever I want. And the bar owner's like, no you can't, I can, and you're fired. And Claudette, you're hired because I heard you can mix drinks. And it was like, you about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job. Hey. Oh my god. So Claudette goes and talks to LaDonna and said thanks for coming and everything. And LaDonna is like, I feel like I'm doing something important. And LaDonna asks her to come to LaDonna asks her to come to like girls' night next week so she can practice making drinks, and she gets a call. Now previously she'd said she couldn't reach her father because his number is unlisted, so she gets a call with like no caller ID, and it's his father, and it's her father, and she's crying, and that happened. You're like literally in my brain almost went, next slide please, as if I have an assistant who's going to give me the next slide and it's not my job. So everybody's happy for Claudette that she has a job. I know, like she was just like getting into her own, and I know she has happy memories of her father, but I'm just like, I don't like where this is going, but maybe it'll be for the best. I don't know. Like I think I really wish they'd just like give us all the episodes so we can binge watch this. Okay. So they're all like happy and smiling and like congratulating Claudette and such when LaDonna notices like a look between Shanice and Dr. Dre, and she's like, "Oh, y'all have to finish what y'all were doing. Okay, okay, I'm gonna go now." And Dr. Dre tries to like get back friends with Shanice, and Shanice is like, you have to work through some stuff." So also at the bar, y'all, so much happened in this episode. Can you believe it? Hold on, let me drink some water. Oh, my throat needed that. Okay, y'all. So Jarrell is low key flirting. He brings Claudette a gift, and he tells her open it afterwards, and she pours him a drink, and their hands touch each other, and they have a moment, and you're like, oh, it's on. Because he's not her social worker anymore. He's now the social worker for the people in the hotel. He's not her social worker anymore. They said that previously in the episodes. Meanwhile, back at the hotel, an establishing shot to let us know we're back at the hotel. Dr. Dre walks Shanice back to her room, and then they start talking, and he gives like I'm going to like try and get the like little monologue that he did. He gives the most heartfelt monologue about like how um they talk about other things, and he says he's sorry about Mariah and stuff, and she forgives him, and she like they have like a moment, and he gives a heartfelt monologue about how like he really cares for her, but he doesn't know how to be with her in this time when people can be in love with more than one person. Oh, she asked him about when she said Logan's name in her sleep too, and like he said that's not really what's bothering him, like he doesn't want to be like too aggressive and blah blah blah, but it is the best monologue, y'all. I will try and record it and put it up so we can watch it over and over again at our own, because it's like it was so good. Like he is such a good actor. Like he is a really really good actor. And then she kisses him on the cheek, and then it's like close off time, and I was just like, woo! It gets steamy, y'all. And then back at the bar, Claudette is closing up when Jarrell comes. So while she's closing up, she looks in, and he's given her a $1 bill, a framed $1 bill, and I was going to figure out the reference and I didn't. So that's that. Um, if anyone knows the reference, feel free to say it in chat or in the comments if you're watching the replay. And so um while she's closing up, Jarrell comes back and he's like, I don't want you to go home alone because of what happened before with Bigot Barney. And they were like talking, like locally flirting, when Claudette was like, oh, it is on, y'all. She grabbed him by his jacket and she pulled him towards it. And I was just like, whoa, Claudette. I think so, Sharon. I think that's what it means. Um, Meanwhile, in case that was not yet enough sexy times with you, previously I didn't show it. Huh. Back at the bar, Soraya comes up to Keisha, and she like brings her a drink and she's like, yeah, I know what you like. And she's like, oh, I'm not girlfriend material. I just broke up with my girlfriend. And Soraya's like, did you cheat? She's like, no, but my girlfriend thinks I'm a cold hearted bitch. She's like, oh, cheaters are always gonna cheat, but a cold person just need the right person to warm their heart. And then it was on, and they go back to, I guess, Soraya's office, and like they're putting the moves on each other, and um, Soraya has game, y'all. Soraya put a fire. She had that waiting to put a fire on every screen in her office. Y'all, there was even a screen like off on a different desk that also had a fire on it. Yeah, so then they get busy, y'all. So much sexy times. Then Dr. Dre goes to look for LaDonna, and LaDonna has left him a computer and also a video message. LaDonna is queen of the video message. Toya, game for days, like game for days. I feel like I also need to make a video of like LaDonna and Keisha. Like I wish I had like a proper laptop so I could make all the videos I wanted to make about the different ships. Like oh yeah, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I didn't even I noticed the chips, but then I was like, I don't even like there's so much going on in this episode. Um anyways, she left him some chips to munch while she was watching the videos and told her that she's left. So we're assuming LaDonna went to stay with her father. And then the Reverend Isaiah is having one of his cult meetings, and Shanice comes to tell Keisha and Jarrell that basically the contract, like, and the thing is, they have to sign the contract if they want to stay in the hotel, and the contracts makes it basically so that the government can put them in conservatorships. Reference, no, that's not the word I wanted to use. Relevance, that's not the word. Timely, one of those words. Um, and they're like, why would Reverend Isaiah um want them like want the government to have so much power over the people? Why would he be pushing them to sign that? And we're trying to think what is in it for Reverend Isaiah. And again, he's just looking so slimy in these pictures. So then we go back to a flashback of Claudette and her husband, and she's in the dark room, and the husband is full meanie, and he is telling her that he's going to send her away to where people with divergent minds go until they learn to behave themselves because she talks too much and she has to let him lead. Um, clearly, Sharon, clearly, but what? I'm thinking that might be it, but like anyone like really like we'll see. Okay, all right. And then yo, um he goes outside and there the people come to put her in a psychiatric institute. As was like, and people really used to do that. Husbands could just put their wives in psychiatric institutes all the time. Like things suck right now, but we have come some way. Although if certain people had their choice, we would go back to those days when a woman couldn't even open a bank account without her husband saying so. Um, and then I also wanted to point out she was going to take a desk to put behind the door, and she had like a really open gash, and I feel as though this big open wound might be significant as to why she has a power or not, but who knows. And then she pushes the desk behind the door. I don't know where Claudette thought she was going to escape. And the green light takes her, and her husband forces his way into the room, and she is just gone. Gone. and it comes back to present day of Claudette's friends her obituary, and she would lived from 1925 to 2005, and she was a leader in the Black Panthers. And then we see Claudette mixing chemicals with gloves in her dark room, and we see this. Like, I didn't get a very good still shot of it, but like, what is it? Is it a bomb? Like, what do you think this is? Like, what's going on here? Oh my god, like, what is it? And that is the cliffhanger that they've left us on. Okay, if you've come this far, I'm going to take a little voice break again. I'm going to play my ad for my memberships, and I'll be right back, y'all. Hey y'all, I got membership so you can join the crew. Woo! For those who want to support me a little more, I have 3 levels of memberships. We got Potato Chip Crew at $2.99. You get loyalty badges that show how long you've been a member. And look, y'all, I got the little potatoes. And you got emojis that only members can use. And I got y'all some potato chips. And of course, I had to get a mermaid. And you also get access to member only live chats. That's lives where only members can talk. Then we have the Super Crew at $6.99. You get everything from the previous level plus member shoutouts, members only updates on the community tab, and members only live chat. For $24.99, you get everything from the previous 2 levels, plus I'll follow you on social media, and you get wallpapers for your phone, and you get to choose one of my books for free. If you want to become a member, just hit up that join button and let's have some fun together. Whee! Alright, y'all, so that's my membership. The link to join is in the description box. Also, the link for my wish list is in the description box if you'd like to support the channel this way, or if you like, the link for my PayPal also in the description box. So if you feel the need to support me, you have 3 options right there in the description box. Also, I forgot to say that CW let me CW, the 4400 airs on CW 9 p.m. on a Mondays, and you can watch it at on the 44 on CW website or in the CW app, and I have the CW website listed in the description box as well. Okay, y'all. So now that we have all that taken care of, let me just check real quick. Um before we go there, Sharon, I want to play next week's episode, and then if anyone has anything, not me next week's episode, next week's trailer. And y'all, after next week they're going on hiatus, so I'm not sure what we'll do on Tuesdays. I have some ideas. Um so let's watch the trailer for next week, and then we can talk about like theories and stuff, and then we can talk about the hateful people.
Sometimes loving someone isn't enough to save us.
They know we have powers.
You only see me as a threat, don't you?
You could be putting us all in danger. We can't let that happen.
know whether the button should be somewhere, Toya. But if you go in the description box of this live, it should have a link that can take you to it as well. Um, Sharon says, "How can they hiatus us?" Oh my God. Okay, so next week, it looks like next week's episode will be even more action packed than this week's episode. And it looks like we'll find out what Reverend Isaiah is up to. It looks like Mildred is going to come back, and we might find out some more about the people being kept locked up at Ipsy Med. And it looks like someone flew through a window or something. Um, oh, yes. Yes, it should be next to subscribe. That's where it should be, next to subscribe. It should be like just to the right of subscribe, Toya. Down by the likes and those things. Oh, Toya, your Wi Fi is always being so annoying. I'm really mad at your Wi Fi. Um, yes, Sharon, the broken window, like, do we find? I have so many questions, okay? I have questions about where Mildred went. We still haven't learned Mildred's backstory. So we still haven't learned about Mildred's past. And then like when Latoya's not Latoya, Logan is talking about sometimes you love people, whatever is going on there. Is he talking to Hayden about Mildred? Like we didn't get Hayden and Mildred this episode, so will next week's episode be about Mildred's past? Will we get Sean from the first episode? Because remember, a few weeks ago we learned that he's coming back. He's directing an episode, plus he's going to be in the episode. YouTube, do not kick Toya out. Toya has some of the best one-liners. We need Toya for the stream to be great. Come on now. Yeah, like there's so much going on. Like I cannot wait for next week's episode. Like I need to be able to binge watch the show. But the thing is, I have to check if it's still on Amazon Prime. 4400 was on Amazon Prime. It might have been on IMDb. If it's on IMDb, you don't even need to have Amazon Prime to watch it. So we can rewatch those. I do want to do like a live where I do like some of the recaps of the 4400 during the hiatus, but we'll see how I feel. Oh God, yeah, I don't have my videos done for the week. I just was feeling really lousy yesterday, so I didn't film. Um and I want to go to the beach tomorrow. I feel like me going to the beach is more important than filming. Okay, sidetrack. So yes, y'all. I feel like I don't know if we'll have mm, I don't know, Toya. That's why like I remember um when I was setting it up, there was something about the join button, and then um that's why he said to put the link in the description box, like to always put the link in the description box. That's why I put it. um Come on, let Toya get see the join button so I can play the new member song. That would be hype. um 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 oh yes, so I really am looking forward to next week. I don't know if we'll get storylines resolved or more questions, but y'all, so much is going on, and we have the and also, like, do y'all think Saraya and Keisha will be a couple now? Because like when they were hooking up, Keisha is like, Saraya's like, I don't want to be a rebound person, and I'm like, she broke up with her girlfriend yesterday, like, ugh. Like, what is going on? Anyway, your Saraya has game, and Where we at? Where we at? The other couple is Jarrell and Claudette. I thought they were trying to make Claudette hook up with Reverend Isaiah, but it seems they're just going to make Reverend Isaiah just be slimy for now. And what's the other thing I want to? The other couple, Dr. Dre and Shanice. Y'all, we saw this coming. We still don't know though if Shanice will be pregnant, like Lily was in the first episode. Even though in the first series, even though the series hasn't followed the same storyline, but we do want to know if Shanice is pregnant. Because remember, the reason why Lily was pregnant is because the other people who didn't from the future sent Isabel to work against the 4400, which I'm thinking like we'll do a live about like the first series during the hiatus. So it's fine that they go on hiatus. They have families too. Oh, I didn't have the time to upload it. Next week I'll show y'all some of the cool videos I saw of the cast all watching the show together. It was so cute. Okay, so then we want to talk about Sharon saw these articles. I tried to find them but I didn't see them about basically hating on the show because they were trying to say that the show glorified Black Panthers like violent tactics. And to that I have to say two words: Kyle Rittenhouse. Two words. So like the people like to hate on the Black Panthers, and the FBI's vilified the Black Panthers. But the Black Panthers used to give like lunches in the communities and stuff. So it's just like people like to hate on the Black Panthers because when you respond to people with the same energy that they're using to oppress you, they always get sad, and that's a they problem. Like that's a they problem. What has the show done? Like, what has the show done? And I have two other words. Whatever that kid name is from Oxford, Michigan, that his parents bought him a gun, and then his teachers called the parents in because he was doing gun things in class and they were afraid he would shoot up the school, and his parents prevented them from sending him home. And guess what? School shooting again, thoughts and prayers again. But at least this time the parents have been charged. And so we wait to see if they will actually get any punishment. But all of those things happen, and the same people who don't have a problem with those things have a problem with the Black Panthers. The guns right people don't want guns rights the Black Panthers to have guns. So they need to just that's just an old narrative they're spinning, and I'm not here for it. Okay, y'all, that has been my rant for the day. I'm now stepping off of my. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised because now currently we have um Politico making a big deal out of the fact that Kamala Harris doesn't want people unattended in her office. Kamala Harris does not wear Bluetooth headphones. She wears wired headphones because she's worried that Bluetooth isn't secure. They wrote a whole article. Bye, Laurie. They wrote a whole article. Three journalists wrote an article about Kamala Harris not wearing Bluetooth headphones. Nobody thought to nobody thought to ask a IT person whether or not the Bluetooth headphones are in fact secure. And then they're like, um when contacted for a comment, VP Harris's office did not respond. So a lot of journalists are just ingenuous. Is that the word? Disingenuous. They're just looking for reasons to hate on black people. Like I've said before, and I will say again. Okay. Because I think what's happening is that the 4400 is starting to increase its popularity, because on Twitter today it was popping, not like super popping like when Real Housewives, not like Real Housewives popping, but like it's popping, okay? Um so, and they're probably starting to, like, they just have a problem. Before the show even aired, they had a problem. Look, Toya, it worked with Hillary Clinton. They, for year after year, they held congressional hearing after congressional hearing on Hillary Clinton, and their goal was not anything to do with Benghazi or emails or anything, but just to make people not trust Hillary, and it worked. Um, but they were determined to hate this show once they heard it was going to have a mostly black cast. That is when white people were demanding representation, because how can a show have a mostly black cast when the US is not mostly black? But I would say first, like, what's the demographics of Detroit? But there's places where you go, yo. So I have a sister who's just as old as my mother. They're the same age, born in the same year. And I didn't know of that sister until 2006. So I was talking to my brother, and he's like, "Your sister is here." And then I started giving off the names of all of my sisters, and he's like, "No, no, 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 Patricia." And I was like, "Who's Patricia?" And he's like, "Your sister." So she lives in Washington, D.C. So I flew out to Washington, D.C. to meet her and her two daughters. And at that point in time, I had been in the U.S. for 2.5 years. And I'd been to a lot of different places. Which part, Toya? My current story or the pots and the headphones? So I'd been to a lot of different places, but a lot of the places I'd been to New York. I'd been to New York a few times, but when I went to DC and when I went to see my sister for that whole weekend, um I did not see another white person, and I was shocked. Like, I was really shocked at, like, how segregated DC was. Like, you don't hear, when you're not American, you don't hear about you don't know, like, how black DC is. You don't know that DC is like a mostly black place, because, like, you think of DC as a foreign person of, like, where the capital is, and that's the picture of DC you see. But yo, like, I saw my first big and tall store. Did we actually go to the movies? There was a Magic Johnson movie theater in that one mall. And when we went to that one mall, it was all black people. And we went to, like, some other event, and it was all black people. Like we went the event we went to was like professional black people, because my sister worked for a community an after school organization and stuff, and it was like an awards ceremony, and like some of the local government was there. And we went to the one club, and it was my first time going to a club with a metal detector. And and it was like it was just like so different, but it's a part of the US that you don't see, because um even like when you see like gangster movies, like, it was just wow for me. So there are places in the US, like, And the thing for me is like a lot of white people in the US, not only do they not know such a place exists, but if they if you tell them about it, they don't believe you. Like they don't believe there's a place where most people aren't white. We could talk about this for hours. Yes, Toya. When I did my yoga teacher training, we talked about it a little bit because I accidentally went to Anacosta and I was like, I got off when I missed my stop and I got off the bus and I was like trying to find my way back and I was literally in somewhere that looked just like Fordham Road in New York, and I talked about it in yoga teacher training, and I was staying in Capitol Hill. And the thing is, like, it was like the beginning of gentrification because all the houses on our street were originally built by black people, like literally like built with their hands. Like some of the people, Josh, hey, some of the people living in the house had been built by their grandparents or by their great grandparents, and it used to be like a very black neighborhood because like the church I used to go to when I was there was like a black church, and everyone was so nice. Everyone like in that neighborhood was so nice. And the older black ladies would be like, "Hey baby," and they'd be so nice to me. Um but a lot of them were moving out, and as they were moving out of the area, younger, more affluent white professionals were moving in, and that was like raising the price of the housing, and the like black people who had lived there for generations were being forced out to through gentrification. But we have completely digressed off of topic right now. How did we get here? Oh yes, white representation. Like, you know, the Michael Che has a stand-up routine where he talked about white girls taking Brooklyn. That's funny. Y'all should watch that if you haven't watched it. Okay, y'all. Now that I've been on a rant for a while, um, yeah, y'all, we have one more episode. I'm gonna wrap up. So if anybody has any last minute comments, let me know in the chat. I'm gonna wrap up, y'all. I don't know what Vlogmas will look like for the rest of the week. We'll have a live on Friday, for sure. Um, um, uh, what was I going to say? Yes, thank you so much to everybody for coming. And if you're watching on the replay and you're still here, thank you. I really appreciate it. Um, yeah, I think that's it. That's all for now, y'all. Thanks for coming. I know, Sharon. Just when it's getting good, they're really hooking us. Thanks for coming. Thanks for all of your support. I don't think I'll stream on Twitch this week just because I'm still feeling a little tired and stuff. But thank you so much for everybody. Don't forget to buy my books, buy my merch, check out. Oh, big announcement. My members and my patrons, and if you follow me on Twitter, you probably already know. But we will be having a book launch party. I'm finally going to actually like do the things and like start marketing my books properly. So if you have read my books, I'm looking for people to participate in the book launch. So if you want to like send me a testimonial, it can be typed, it can be a video. I would really appreciate this. If you want to participate, yes, Sharon, on the 17th at 5 p.m. my time, 4 p.m. New York time. So if you want to help out with the book launch, I would very appreciate it. If your contribution is coming to the book launch and hanging out, I also appreciate that and y'all's. I will have I will be having discounts on the books, the ebooks on Amazon. But for now, because you stuck through this 90-minute live, you can I am not from Africa, Ray J Love. I'm from the Caribbean. Thank you. For now, you can get 25%. That's right. 25%. I was going to do 10%, but I said I do not like 10% off. I feel insulted when people do 10% off. Do I think I'll actually make money at 25% off? Probably not, but I don't care because I want y'all to have merch. So my entire merch store is 25% off. Is the link in the description box. Oops. 25% off, and the code is book launch. Book launch from now until December 31st. 25% off. And the code is book launch. BOOK. Come on. OK. LAUNCH. So go and get yourselves some merch, y'all. Okay, all right. Because I wanted to give y'all a good deal. Oh, oops. I wanted to give y'all a good deal. I wanted y'all to be able to buy presents. I don't know if it'll come in time for Christmas, but if you want to buy presents for yourself or whoever, whatever, 25% off. Anyways, y'all, I need to go find food. Again, thanks for coming, everybody. Ray J Love, thank you for coming. We're just wrapping up, but you can feel free to watch the replay. Y'all, have a good evening, okay? Alright. See y'all soon, everybody. Bye for now.